Hi everyone, so today in a continuation of our series on educational videos from the Reptile House, we're going to do one of our turtles. Now it's one of our farm favourites, it's Piggle, our soft shell turtle. So this is Piggle's enclosure, so he's right in the middle of our Reptile House, a bit of the star of the show, that's how he likes it to be, and he's been in this home just over 2 years now, which is really good because he had a bit of a sad background to him where he couldn't really use his muscles to swim because of his background being from a rescue centre and an unsuitable home. But now he's swimming really nicely. He's one of those animals that I think he really likes attention. So not just from me when I feed him, but from the public when they get to be in and say hi. He's quite curious, he likes to know what's going on. There are 25 species of soft-shell turtle, and Piggle is known as a smooth soft-shell turtle. So we can tell he's smooth soft-shell because they're the only species not to have any bumps or spines along their top of the shell, which is also known as their carapace. So Piggle, being a soft-shell turtle, or a smooth one, he's from North America, so you'll find him in the United States basically. And they have quite a wide variety of diets, so he eats fish, lots of insects, lots of snails, lots of worms. They can be adapted to eating turtle pellets in captivity as well, so we feed him that as part of a varied diet. Soft shells like Piggle might live 40 to 50 years as like a really long lifespan, but with his background being not really looked after for a long time, and we don't really know how old he is now, we're not sure how long we've got with him, but we're just trying to make the most of it and give him as a happy home for as long as he's got left really. Soft shells are a very interesting species of turtles, so you can see on Piggle he's got a very long neck. So I do have to be careful. If I was to pick him up, he could actually get his neck round and bite my hands. So when I do pick him up, which isn't that often because he doesn't really like it, I've got to make sure I'm doing it from the back just to avoid getting bitten. And they have that long neck to get prey in the wild, to kind of sneakily get some fish by sticking it out really quickly. But also when they're buried in sand and mud, they completely camouflage onto the shell, but they might just stick their head up, and with their nose-like snout, that will be just over the surface of the water, allowing them to breathe. Being from North America, in the winter it does get very cold, so you might have heard of animals like bears hibernating. Well, reptiles in colder climates do a very similar thing. It's called brumating. It's not quite the same, because they don't really fall asleep for all that period of time. They remain somewhat active, but the metabolism does slow down and their body temperature just cool down to match the environment. So in the wild they'd be living in lakes and rivers, but they're buried down in the mud, so they can't really breathe. They can't breathe through the nose because there's quite often a layer of ice on top of those lakes. So what they do is something really fascinating. So they're the only kind of turtle that can breathe through their skin. And they do another thing as well where they breathe through some cells in their throats. It's not quite like gills, but it's something to help absorb the oxygen. And soft shells, they're different to other turtles because other species of turtles can't do the absorbing of oxygen through the skin. They do something called cloacal respiration, which is a bit of a sciencey way of saying they breathe through their gums, which is really unusual. So species like our musk turtles that we keep here, if they were in the wild, through mating, that's how they'd get the oxygen. We keep Piggle on his own here for a couple of reasons. So they are solitary in the wild naturally, so they'd come together to breed and then just kind of do their own thing. And the second reason is females grow a lot larger than males. So this habitat here, that'd be too small for a female because they get so much bigger. So I really hope you've enjoyed learning a little bit about soft shells and Piggle here. He's certainly probably one of my favourite animals. So like and share if you can, and you'll have to leave some suggestions on what animal we could do next. So from me and Piggle here, we'll see you later.
Good boy.